Welcome to another episode of The Brothers Watch. We just got out of seeing Scream 7. We're going to rate it and review it for you right now. Ben, what did you think of this movie?
A couple things that I liked. I really liked the immersive audio that you get for most horror movies, but with Dolby Atmos, man, that really brings that movie to life. I almost give that an extra point just for the audio alone.
Absolutely.
So what's your score?
6.3.
Oh, higher than you thought.
Yes.
All right, good.
I also think that the theater experience bumps this movie up. I think that I saw some Rotten Tomatoes scores before I went in that I couldn't believe were as low as they were. Yeah. I actually think this movie is about a 6.7.
For me, you guys know I'm a Scream guy. This is my franchise, so I'm going to like it no matter what. It's a 9.5 for me, bro. I loved it. Loved it.
That's fair. That's fair. I would give it a 6.5. I went in with relatively low expectations. It was better than what I thought it was going to be.
Love that.
I think if you're a fan of the Scream franchise, you'll probably like most of it, maybe up until the end.
Yeah.
But
all right, so we're going to do a little bit of spoiler-free stuff. The things that really worked for me, I think, were the sounds of the movie were really good. Yeah. They did an awesome job with the camera work. It played the angles perfectly, like some horror movies do very well. It did all of it perfectly, kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time. The whodunit that Scream throws at you in every single movie, apparently. I've only seen the first one. I think that this one was...
Shame!
I think it worked out well. For someone who only saw the first movie, it was still very watchable and very enjoyable for me.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed Act 1 and Act 2. I think the movie, from a pacing perspective, actually starts off pretty quick. I think we can
the whole thing
all agree with that.
Yep, for sure.
You already mentioned the audio. And then I would say the kills. The kills surprised me a bit. They were a lot better than I expected.
I'll keep it really quick since we're not doing spoilers. But everything you guys said, I echo. Other than the pacing, I thought that was a drawback for me. But the kills were fantastic. I like that Ghostface isn't this as much as normal, this bumbling buffoon who's tripping over himself. He's a formidable opponent in this movie, which I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It kind of is brought into the new era, 2026 with a lot of things, which I, worked in some aspects, didn't work in others. So, but like Jeff said, if you're a fan of the franchise, you're going to like it. Even if there's parts that really hurt you, you're really going to like it still. I highly suggest you see it. It really worked.
And to the point of, if you are not a huge fan of the franchise, but maybe you've seen the first few, but you haven't kept up with it, but you like the original Scream, I think you'll still like this too.
You don't need, it's not like the Avengers. You don't need 18 hours of research and study to enjoy this movie. It will help.
as far as slashers go, I think it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
You said you didn't like the pacing?
No.
Really?
We'll get into
I thought the pacing was one of the better parts of the movie, because I feel like with a lot of slashers or scary horror movies, you're going to get like a crazy scene, over the top kill, and then you're going to get some kind of break. In this movie, I don't feel like you got that break.
That's why I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the pacing,
exactly
it was unique. It was unique. And I feel like
Yeah.
Scream is always going for the unique factor.
No, you're absolutely right.
I think that's something I agree with Jeff for. I really enjoyed the pacing of the movie, where you got a little bit of the lull, where you were of the just constant killing.
Yeah.
You still got plenty of that, but it was well paced, as far as you got to see the characters a little bit develop together, and then try to figure out why they might have a motive and all that fun stuff.
If you guys want to get scared too, definitely, to Ben's point, to everyone's point, see it in Dolby Atmos.
I was looking over my shoulder.
I didn't think it was that scary of a movie, but I was jumping.
The directional audio cues are
Dude,
brilliant.
So good. So, and that has to be done in post-production for the movie, not the theater, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so before we jump into spoilers, which we're about to do, I want to say, is this worth the price of admission? For me, I say absolutely, especially if you like Scream. But if you're into any sort of horror movie like this, or one with jump scares, go see this in theaters. It's worth the price, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, I spent like $300 on merch at these theaters. Like, obviously, it's worth it for me.
Yeah. Jeff, what would you say?
If you like slashers, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I would definitely go see it.
Ben?
I'm on the same page as Jeff. I think if horror movies are your thing, you'll probably enjoy this movie.
For sure.
Perfect. You guys want to go ahead and jump into spoilers?
So badly.
Let's do it. Okay. So movie starts off immediately with what you see in the trailers from the couple that is staying in the horror house, or murder house, I guess they call it.
The Mocker House.
And you get some craziness right off the bat. A lot of it you do see in the trailer. It is very true to form. After you leave the murder house, you get to where Sydney is, and then everything starts taking turns slowly down this road to more slashing, more killing. Let's talk about our favorite kills with Ghostface. Okay. I think that the beginning is cool, even though you have already seen it in the trailers. I thought that everything you saw in the bar scene or restaurant scene was gnarly. I could not believe they went there. It was Michael Myers-esque in certain ways. I really loved how his face would emerge from the shadows like Michael Myers did in the original Halloween. And that scene goes crazy to me because of all that. It's a little gruesome, obviously, but
That's the scene with the bar tab. Right?
Yes, the scene with the bar tab. I could have gone without that one, but yes.
Lifted up, the back of his head sat up on the bar tab.
Into a kebab.
And then the pressure of him getting stabbed, he falls forward and then just beer and blood start pouring out of his mouth.
I gotta say, you get a little Michael Myers with the head turn. I know Ghostface does this a little bit, but
it's an homage.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
Same with when he got kicked, she pushed him through the glass.
Yeah.
And he's like, knife first came up. Like,
like
Michael does. Yeah.
Very cool. Jeff, how about you?
Probably the bar tap one. But Jimmy got done pretty dirty too early in the movie. And you don't really see any part of that in the trailers. You really just see the girl falling.
Bro, to the temple through his eyes, basically.
Yeah, and you even see his eye get pushed out.
That was gnarly.
It was gnarly.
I was like, this is how we're starting?
I thought those were the two most brutal kills.
Ben, how about you?
I can't believe it hasn't been mentioned. McKenna Grace's pinata.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Where all the guts are spilling out, man. That was gory and brutal.
He toyed with
bro, it was bad. That was Saw ass.
Because go ahead.
I was
Set up the
saying,
scene.
when I saw that for me was maybe the worst way I could think to die.
What can you do?
You have no control.
She was strung up because they're rehearsing for a play. So she was strung up on like
homage to Scream 3.
some kind of tether where she's like a fairy and she's getting lifted and they're practicing being lifted up and down off the ground. The guy that's controlling it obviously gets killed, and then Ghostface just starts dangling her around.
Just toying with her.
Just slicing her. That was gnarly. Since you guys took all of mine, I guess I will take, because in the trailer, the female, I don't know her name, you see, she falls from the chandelier, which is already cool, but obviously knew it was coming. But then he sets her ass on fire, bro.
Fire.
Like, it's not like, she burns down with the house. He literally pours gas on her, and then
She also
burns
said,
alive.
Yeah.
She also said earlier in the when they first got there, they were talking about all the victims from previous movies. I forget the girl's name, but she got torched.
Yeah,
and she said that's the worst way to go, I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, that is true. She does say that.
Brutal.
So it's really cool because Scream, one of the things Scream does so well always is it's meta. So it's self-aware that it's a kind of a cringy meta horror movie. They know that, and they make jokes about it all the time. And one of the best ways for Scream to do that is to reference real life horror movies,
Which is cool. I love that.
right? And so, throughout all the movies, they're basically based off Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and that is a very common principle through every single movie. Now, because in the Scream cinematic universe, if you will, Stab exists, which is in itself a horror franchise. So now Scream has infinite reference material to be referencing, and that's how they kind of tie you into the old movies. And if you haven't seen them, you're going to be kind of missing a couple things. But I just love that it's its own world and its own universe, and it's self-aware of that. And I think it's
I think it helps audiences like Ben and I who have only seen the first one, which now I want to go back and see some of the other ones. Right. But I think it helps us because it does feel so self-aware that, hey, you're kind of watching something that's being planned out based off of movies, right?
Absolutely.
And so it makes it fun for you, even if you're not having all the tie-ins that I'm sure you guys loved seeing some of the old faces pop up in this movie and there. But yeah, I thought it was fun because of those references.
Absolutely. No, I absolutely totally agree. I think Scream, not to keep going on this tangent, but with every other horror franchise, Chucky, Nightmare, Jason, Halloween, they all have this being that is the same being. Whether it is a different manifestation, a demon, a possession, whatever it is this. Michael is Michael for the most part. But Freddy is Freddy. Ghostface, he is a mask. He is not the same person. So it's able to pass generationally through movies in the franchise.
And they reference that in this movie.
And it gives you a reason as to they're just humans. But it's the only way you can keep a franchise alive with the connectivity behind the mask.
Right.
It's not a bad guy. It's a bad guy. It's not a demon or this unbeatable entity. It's just a human.
It feels that way
and
sometimes.
yeah, dude. Yeah, he was a badass in this movie. Sorry, tangent over.
Yeah, like sometimes I feel like he's impervious to pain in this movie in particular, but it does bring that sense of foreboding in it. But you still get the not as much clumsiness as in the first one.
No, he was,
but he still falls and eats it and gets smacked in the face and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, no,
I really enjoyed the pacing of the whole movie. I thought it was a fun watch, and I'm really not a horror guy. But to me, whether you consider this horror or just a scary movie, I enjoyed it. I would see it again.
For sure. So you said the pacing thing. For me, in all the other Screams, maybe, yeah, in all of them, you get, like we were talking about, the ups and downs, the kills, and then you get some dead parts. This movie, and like maybe I was just on edge the whole time because I was so excited to see it, but it felt like it went from opening credit scene to 10, 20 minutes of story universe building. And then immediately after that, it was just nonstop.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
And in all the other Screams, they really kind of dive into the who done it, the why this is happening. And big spoiler here, maybe they didn't do that in this movie because the motive of these people is the worst of all the movies, in my opinion.
Okay.
The motive sucks, in my opinion. Sorry. The bad guys are not great. So maybe there isn't really a lot to kind of flesh out. But in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you get multiple instances of everyone sitting down, like they try to do at the restaurant, and figure out who it is and why, and then reference old movies and reference stab movies and reference real events.
Yeah.
And that never really happened.
I think that's
They
why.
tried.
Yeah.
Well, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with that. So when they're in the bar scene and they're saying, you guys are here because you think it's one of us.
Right.
That would have been like the opportunity to flesh it out, but
Correct.
But you can't once you understand
There's no
killers
reason.
are that are revealed.
Right.
So
But
it's
that's why this movie was unique.
yeah, it's probably just at the end of the day a poor creative decision.
And
Yeah.
and that's why for me it's a 6-7 instead of going way up into the high 7s, is because I thought the motives were lame. I thought the reveal was not as cool. Now it is.
Bro, she was a great bad guy.
Yeah, no,
She
I
was
agree.
unhinged,
She was a good bad guy, but there just wasn't enough in it for me to be like,
There was
oh,
none,
that's
yeah.
super cool. I understand how they got there.
Correct.
It kind of took it away a little bit from
it
me.
sucked.
But the rest of the movie again was so fun that it was worth seeing.
So there were two bad guys. Well, there was more, but the main two at the end were one of the kids' moms, who just ended up kind of going crazy and wanting to restart her life or whatever. And at a certain point in her life, she had passed through a mental facility where her accomplice worked. So they were the team at the end. And although I thought it was clunky, getting back to the pacing and why I liked that we didn't have those moments of levity, was because in all the other movies, those moments of levity, those breaks, you get to do character building where you're thinking, okay, it might be this kid, it might be that kid.
right.
And this one, they don't give like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
we were definitely guessing up until the end, and I wish the end was done a little better because I would have rated it higher, and it still might deserve a little higher. But
Yeah, as we sit here and talk about the fun that we had in it, like my rating like starts to climb a little bit, which is normally a good sign.
And I mean, I've never seen a Scream this early in the release. Like we went to a fan night, so like obviously if you're there for this 6 o'clock on a Thursday, you want to see it. But I don't remember ever seeing any horror movie in my life, whether it be early or late, that had people clapping and people cheering and laughing like as a collective. It was crazy.
It was a really good experience, like a good theater experience. Everybody was really into it. You could tell that the audience was on the edge of their seat. And so if you can see it early, I definitely would, because your theater could make the experience even better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right about the pacing. I just wish they would have had more character building, even though by the time they would have developed the character, they would have died.
just my preference, because they're all the same. There's 6 Scream movies, so I like the fact that you weren't really able to get too much of a hold on which kid you thought it was.
It was frustrating because they brought back the legacy characters with Gail. I forget their names, from the brother and the Meekses, Randy Meeks' cousins.
Okay.
The brother and sister, whatever they are.
They work with Gail.
Yeah, now they work with Gail, and it's almost kind of implying that, hey, she's going to try to be this new reporter, and kind of like, you know, Sydney's daughter Tatum is taking Sydney's role. She's taking, but like they just didn't. It just felt like every storyline, every plot line, every bad guy, every red herring just was not fleshed out enough.
Yeah,
or
like
really at all.
Yeah, like Jeff wanted it to be Gale so bad
thought it
that
was
the
Gale.
credits were rolling, and Jeff's like, "It's still gonna be Gale."
If they release another movie, I think they should make it to be Gale.
I don't think Gail's
coordinating
going to be
these
around
people.
for the next movie.
That's
She's
great.
hanging on by a
She's doing great.
thread.
She's doing great.
I think Scream has, speaking of that, has an issue on its hands where the thing that people love most about it and the thing that makes it so connected is that there's always this tie back into something you didn't know about, or something else gets brought to light that you didn't know from the beginning. And it kind of gives a reason for all these legacy characters to be involved again.
Right.
And people love that. People love legacy characters. But now legacy characters are old, dead, or not willing to come back to these movies.
Right.
So you have to find a way to keep the legacy fans around.
So I've got
AI, and now
we gotta
bring in new characters. But you just had a set of really good new characters that people really liked, and you fumbled it. So, I don't know. Scream's got a way ahead that I don't know how it's going to
See, I'll counter that, because as someone who isn't as tied into all of the characters, because I've only seen the first and the seventh,
right.
I think that you can still keep Ghostface and what he represents and just start from a whole new town and do a whodunit mystery movie and reset it with just people who are obsessed with that ideology, unfortunately, he has.
I agree.
And I think it would still be fun just having little Easter eggs here that maybe don't tie in as much to the overall plot, but they're still fun for everybody to get a part of.
I think that's probably the best way ahead.
I think it's probably I think it has the best position of any horror franchise right now.
Yeah, I mean, The Conjuring is in a very similar boat, right? They're starting a new franchise basically over with new characters, not the legacy characters.
Without the Warrens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Warrens.
at the end of Last Rites, they basically passed the torch to their kids.
Like they passed away?
Figurative torch. So I agree. This movie is, there's not really a lot of active horror franchise.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more masked people, like Halloween is in a weird spot to me because they just don't know how to land that. But
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But Ghostface, again, you just give me a whodunit and you can make it a slasher and it'll be fun.
That's again, like I was saying earlier, the best part about it is that it's a whodunit.
Yeah, so I can see
the
how
whole
you'd want
time
more
you're
of
like,
that.
oh, let me keep thinking about who this is, and like, is that person really dead? I don't know.
And it might be better that they do that with a new cast that you're not as attached to.
They're going to have to.
Yeah.
I just don't know. They should have done it this time. This is the perfect opportunity.
Let's real quick, what didn't work for you that you haven't already said, or you can reiterate if it was something that you already said, Tony.
I think
Ben, what didn't work for you?
So I'll start by saying I actually really enjoyed Act 1 and Act 2. I would have rated it much higher if the movie had ended after Act 2. Act 3, it just kind of falls off a cliff for me.
Yeah.
I immediately become disinterested when you learn that Stu is AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The heavy use of AI throughout this film and almost normalizing it really angered me.
When he says AI use, he means like in narrative.
It's the plot.
The movie didn't use AI to build anything. Like they weren't projecting AI to us as if it was real. The movie's plot has AI heavily.
The characters use AI to like confuse what's going on.
Yeah,
and I completely agree. That's my biggest knock on it. Outside of a little bit of a weak reveal when the mask comes off, I think you could still make that work. But I think that the AI aspect was just a little rough.
That's the mask reveal sucked.
Yeah, I know.
Bro, when they do that and you're on the edge of your seat and you're supposed to be like blown away.
Yep.
And like I heard people behind me, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like obviously you're not paying attention, but like still that is how.
Like if it was Gale, people would have gone crazy.
Freaked out,
And
bro.
I'm sure like hardcore Scream fans might be divided on that. Probably more so in the camp of not wanting to hear. Yeah, but just where the point they're at in the franchise and killing Dewey off, that would have given Gale motive.
Yeah, at one point I thought it could have been one of Gail's assistants because she wanted the limelight so bad that she was creating a story for her to like break news on and get Gale out of the way, but that didn't manifest obviously, and so
Or just let Stu be alive.
I agree.
Yeah, I would have liked Stu to be alive. Yeah.
But could you imagine if it was Gale? And she's like, surprise, Sydney. Oh my
Not necessarily
God,
like
I would have
that,
melted, bro.
But she could have gone on this long diatribe of like, you got everything I wanted. You got fame. You wouldn't take it.
It's very believable to her character.
I lost Dewey. My career's fading. Yeah, but
yeah, I think the movie still worked. I think it was still a good time, and I'll say it over and over in this episode. But I think that the theater experience really enhanced this.
Absolutely, and it felt like a send off.
Yeah.
At the end, all the legacy characters coming back in their AI versions to give their 2 cents. the credits rolled and they had their own picture and their own
Mm-hmm.
little kind of animation, it felt to me like okay, these people are done.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Sydney didn't feel like that. Her character did not feel like she had a send off. Looks like
Oh, can I say something? Can I say something about this? Little nitpick in this. Sydney has this gigantic like safe room with a vault and everything, right? Okay. Because she's obviously been prepared. Now, they leave said safe room to crawl through a wall in the house that you see in the trailer. Bro, is a wall made of pizza crust? What are we doing? You got to have safe in there, and you get a wall that's made of nothing. I have bit into hard shell tacos that broke or harder than that wall. That was ridiculous.
Fair.
Other than that, yeah. I mean, you were prepared.
She had the resources to install a safe house in there, and then her only exit is like the width of her body that she had to shimmy through. It's just, I didn't like that either.
And the daughter's like, I want to go with you. Don't worry about the sound I'm making in the day.
ridiculous. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I won't go into those nitpicks. There's too many.
I think the AI was the biggest issue.
Yeah, for sure.
They start out so early showing, like after the Jimmy Tatro kill, they're showing that Stu, like a version of Stu.
Yeah, dude, I was like, holy shit. That was
from the
quick.
It was so quick.
That's what I'm saying. Pacing sucked.
And they identified, though, they're aware that it might be a deep fake. I thought the biggest issue, though, was the way they phrased the talk about AI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the killers was like, yeah, I actually worked for Google for a little bit.
Google security, which is somehow AI, and it's fine.
Small nitpick for me, and I haven't seen the movie, but I felt like I didn't need to be reminded constantly that Neve wasn't in Scream 6. Like, they probably say it 20 to 30 times throughout the movie. You weren't there. You weren't there in New York. You should have been there.
Yeah.
It was almost like they were embarrassed of 5 and 6, and they made a point to make a joke about it a few times.
So for 5, she didn't have, like, they offered her the money and she didn't think it was enough. So she said no. So, like, her character was supposed to be in it and she refused. So I think it is a little, again, it being a little self-aware.
Okay. Yeah.
Personally.
Interesting.
I was surprised they didn't do any reference to the Jenna Ortega and her sister.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could have done, but I guess they're like, let's stay away from that as far as we can. But I'm surprised they didn't. Maybe they did and I missed it. There's probably a lot of references that I missed.
Well, let us know in the comment section down below. Are you going to see this movie? Did you already see it? If you have, drop your rating down below.
And your favorite kill.
Let us know if you plan on seeing it. If you haven't already seen it, like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.